Je vous remercie tous d'être venus pour ce premier workshop donc, sur les analyses des réseaux sociaux dans les sociétés animales. Donc, tout d'abord, au niveau du réseau national des systèmes complexes, un groupement d'intérêt scientifique, c'est au sein de ce groupement qui est le réseau SNAAS. Et la mission du RNSC est de rassembler tous les acteurs qui souhaitent contribuer au développement des sciences des systèmes complexes. Donc chaque année, le RNSC labellise quelques réseaux. Et donc nous sommes labellisés RNSC depuis 2 ans et cette année nous avons obtenu un financement pour pouvoir faire ce workshop. Donc l'intérêt du réseau SNAAS, c'est de mettre en évidence que l'analyse des réseaux sociaux apporte clairement de nouvelles avancées dans l'étude du comportement animal. Donc au début on était très peu, aujourd'hui on est déjà 26 membres au niveau du réseau SNAAS. Vous pouvez voir un peu ici comment ça se distribue. C'est exclusivement français, il y a quelques outsiders quand même. Et vous pouvez voir au niveau des lignes, c'est déjà les différentes collaborations qui sont établies au sein du réseau SNAAS par exemple. Donc ce workshop a été financé par le RNSC, également par l'Institut des études avancées de l'Université de Strasbourg et par l'ANR Drosonnette que nous avons avec Gilles Surivette. J'aimerais remercier Catherine Berger au niveau de l'IPHC et Daniel Darrocha au niveau du RNSC pour nous avoir aidés dans l'organisation de ce workshop et toutes les personnes qui sont venues ce matin pour m'aider également dans l'installation du workshop. Now I will switch in English, it will be easier for me for the use of the words. I will talk about the structure and function of social networks. So as you know, most of living systems are organized from molecules to large-scale organizations like ecosystems. And in the most of these living systems, people are talking about optimality of networks. So what is network optimality? This is the best transmission, most of the time, of information in terms of accuracy and speed with the minimum of connection. So this kind of optimality is found in gene and proteins networks. For instance, gene networks appear to be dynamically robust to mutation or stochasticity. And protein networks allow bacteria to adapt to almost every environmental niche on Earth. We also find some optimal network in the brain, and these neural networks are efficient. Many aspects of the neural networks are the same than the one allowing optimal decision in statistics or mathematics. And there are some evolutionary processes implied in the network structure at the cell level. In optimality, we also often talk about modularity. So modularity is the fact that entities are subgrouped or clustered, as you can see there. And there was a first study showing that an evolutionary process based on performance and connection cost allow to have some modular networks. This is in the brain, but you can find it whatever the level, even in the animal groups. And it allows also a fast adaptation. For theoretical groups, animal or human, David Lusso also showed that network modularity promotes better cooperation between individuals. Here, the more you have some modularity in your network, like this, the more you have some cooperation inside the networks. So some specific properties of your network allow to show some optimality or efficiency. We can also find some optimality in the language network. How words are associated is universal, allowing to find to have some optimal language. And Marc Barthélémy models some transport network, and we can find easily some optimal network in the subway or railway network with a low number of connections, allowing to have an efficient transport network or a quicker transport network. Maybe not for SNCF, but at least in Japan. So now we know that we are talking more and more about social network in animal groups, but the question is social network somewhere or somehow selected to optimize advantages to live together? This is the question. So we know that there is some advantages to live in group, such as the decrease of predation risks, the better food resource efficiency, better access to the reproduction. But we have also some inconveniences to live in groups, such as a higher competition or an increase of the disease transmission. So animals have to maintain the group cohesion and to interact to balance between the advantages and inconveniences of sociality. And we often find some associativity, that means heterogeneity, in the association of in animal groups. Some animals are more associative than others. We call it partner, whatever, affiliated individual, but in a group, some individuals are more associative. The question is why this heterogeneity? There may be a relationship between the structure and the function of the network. So we know that the individual behavior will influence the social network, but the social network will also influence the individual behavior for alliances, for grooming, for cooperation, whatever. So the question is if somewhere the network can be selected to favor the fitness of each individual. Several studies show this. Central individuals, so the ones who have a higher connection or a higher strength of association, have higher fitness. In baboons, for instance, juvenile with central mother live better. In beetles, central males have higher reproductive success, and in dolphins, central males live also longer. Philip Ebb will show you something about how offspring social network and structure and networks predicts the fitness in family, and that the network structure reflects the variation in how complex interacts are resolved among family members. In ants, Waters and Fawell talk about optimality also of network of the colony, with the network structure has been selected to maximize the colony level function. And the individual variation in connectivity or in centrality creates interaction center which may expedite information flow. So here again we have some kind of optimality. I will not talk about this because this is a talk of David. You maybe know the blob or Myxomycete, Physarum polycephalum. Here you have a map of the village around Tokyo. So you know that there is a railway or tramway to link the different villages around Tokyo. And they put a blob with different cornflakes or popcorn. And each popcorn represents one village. And they try to see how the blob develops his different branches around this map, and they found that the blob is more optimal than humans in order to find the best railway network for Tokyo, for instance. So a minimum of connection between the village, but a better efficiency and speed of transport. We also find some relationship between social network and leadership in primates. For instance, the leaders in primates, here we can see the leaders who are the one with the higher size of the node, are the one in the middle of the network, so the one who are the most central. So we know that there is no group selection. Everything is at the individual levels with the gene. So the question is how can a social network can be selected at the individual level? It can be something about genetic, physiology, epigenetic, social constraint. At this time we don't know. There is also another question. Here we talk about information transmission, but does the social network influence positively or negatively over social phenomena? We know, for instance, that in Japanese macaques, females central to the grooming network exhibit higher species richness and intensity of affection. So they are more prone to be sick or to have some diseases. So a new question is, how is this social network a trade-off between different variables? So give a better information transmission, but allow disease transmission, for instance. This is a question we still don't know and we have to answer. And this is the goal, the objective of the SNAAS network. I would like to thank for this study my different foundation and the colleague who helped me for this study. And for the first talk, I am pleased to invite Palmier. There is a little change in the program. Marine and Christian will present their talk later in the afternoon, and now we'll hear about social network in COVID as a roots.